I'm shocked at Vegas's confidence that Texas can possibly contend for a national title. I don't know if you've checked out the odds, but when I was in Vegas last month, they were something like, they were in that 25-1 range. They were in that Michigan, Wisconsin range for competing for a national championship coming off a 5-7 campaign.
Yeah, I mean, Texas, I think when you look at the odds to win the Big 12 or even an outside playoff appearance, all hinges on their head coach, Tom Herman, that brought great success to the Houston Cougars overall, 22-4 as a head coach at Houston, knocked off Florida State in the Peach Bowl, 13-1 season. But here's the thing about Texas that I don't like for them in the upcoming season. 2015, they were outscored in their 7 games by a total margin of 273 to 146, or 18 points per game. Last year, they lost 7 games by a total of 62 points, 8.8 points per game. That was with their head coach, Charlie Strong. Obviously, he wanted to run the football. They wanted a more wide-open attack. I don't care what you tell me. The boosters and the fan base wanted to spread it out in Austin last year because of the way the teams play in the Big 12. That was not Charlie Strong's strong suit. He wanted a methodical offense that he could run the football, work off of play action, and utilize his defense. But the players on the defensive side of the ball were starting to buy into his scheme. They still allowed 31 points per game, and they allowed 189 rushing yards on the ground last year. Even though Tom Herman comes over, it's a new defensive philosophy, and I've said it again, with new coordinators, new coaches, even though you might have the same type of personnel and the same type of scheme, you're seeing the game through a different set of eyes. It takes those coordinators a rhythm. They're like pitchers and quarterbacks. They have to get acclimated to the talent. They have to understand how that talent responds in game situations, and more importantly, they have to build a game plan around that personnel. That's not easy, and that takes a while. That could take a whole season. Just because he had great success at Ohio State with top 5 recruits, and he went to Houston and had great success, he also had an athletic quarterback in Greg Ward Jr. Shane Buechele is a prototypical drop-back passer, so that's the difference. He's not as athletic as Greg Ward was. That's the versatility that Houston had to work with. Not the same, even though they have Chris Warren, their running back for Texas. I think this team, from a schedule perspective, and the new head coach, 5-7 overall, I'm not buying into the hype.
Deonta Foreman, 2,000 yards off to the NFL, 15 touchdowns. We didn't expect that kind of production out of him, so he capitalized on the huge season. Chris Warren III. Now, do you know, Joe, is that the Chris Warren of the NFL star? Do we know if that's a relation there? I didn't double check that though, but Chris Warren was if it is, his father was if he was the son of Chris Warren from the Seahawks, a very blue collar runner that was a very underrated running back for the Seahawks back in the day. But I have to double check that. I'm not sure. I don't want to say he is and he isn't. But we'll see. Just like Isaiah Thomas, I thought he was related to the great Isaiah Thomas from Boston. My friend had to tell me no. But then again, basketball is not my strong suit. It is college football. Not sure about that, though. I'll have to double check. Yeah, we'll check that one out. So it's Chris Warren III, who had 366 yards for the Longhorns last year and 3 touchdowns, about 6 yards per carry. He and also Chris Porter at about 4.5 yards per carry, 200 yards. They're the leading rushers returning. Of course, it was all Foreman last season.